Stress has become one of the most common concepts, but the term is only recent, as it only hit planet Earth in 1936 thanks to a neologism coined by Montreal doctor Hans Selye, which spread to Russian, Greek, Turkish, and French, and countless other languages. Hans Selye was born in Vienna and learned 4 languages in his childhood. His father, grandfather, and great-grandfather were all surgeons. He became an endocrinologist and joined McGill University in Montreal in 1932 on a Rockefeller scholarship. He terrorized lab rats to see what effect the trauma would have on their physiques, part of decades of research that would yield 39 books and countless studies on everything from alcoholism to appendicitis. Selye chose the word stress from the word distress, favoring it over the word strain. The word stress had previously been used in English to emphasize or emphasis. The term aimed to tackle the old concept of mens sana in corpore sano, a sound mind and a sound body. In 1944, McGill gifted Selye and his team a big mansion at 3619 University to conduct their research, but he eventually got a better offer and switched to the University of Montreal, which lured him away with an International Stress Institute. Selye operated that institute from his home at 659 Milton Avenue, where he lived with his second wife, having left his first wife, McGill medical student Frances Love, for Gabrielle Grant, who gave him 4 kids and stuck with him for 28 years until they divorced in 1976. She apparently coped well with stress, living to the age of 98. Selye taught that stress is the spice of life. Both good and harmful stress use up the body's adaptive energy, but his emphasis on good stress, the kind that gets you to finally write that term paper, never caught on well. As his term for it, eustress, never caught on in popular culture. Selye noted that a mother's physical reaction is the same when she hears that her son has fallen in battle as when she hears later that it was a mistake and he is alive and well after all. The toll on her vital energy is the same. It's not stress that kills, it's our reaction to it. People could live past 100 by understanding and conquering stress. Selye championed the golden rule, calling it altruistic egotism, i.e. loving others to protect oneself against their hostility. Selye, who smoked a pipe, was funded by big tobacco companies as he solicited money from the companies to fund his research, receiving $150,000 twice, and in return he advised that smoking isn't all that bad. Often more damage is done by creating, through well-meant crusades of enlightenment, innumerable hypochondriacs whose main sickness is really fear of sickness. The tobacco companies eventually found him less useful because he acknowledged the link between cigarettes and cancer. By 1981, Selye was still going strong in his 70s, now living with his third wife, Louise Devrette, but he faced his own battle against massive stress when the tax department under the provincial Parti Québécois government ordered him to pay $290,000 in back taxes from the 1970s. They also suspected him of owing an additional $300 and raided his home that same year, seizing documents and overturning plants in search of evidence to catch him on the $300 extra, an event that left him so stressed that he was unable to speak for several weeks. Selye died in October 1982 of a heart ailment at the age of 75, with his widow complaining that the stress of dealing with the provincial government contributed to his demise. She sued for $700,000, but their settlement was kept under wraps. Selye now is recognized as one of the great Montreal academics, up there with Rutherford in atomic physics and Penfield in neurology and Phil Gould in cancer research. His home in the province of Quebec could use some of his wisdom, as it suffers from higher stress than any other province in Canada according to Canadian government stats, with over 1 in 5 reporting to feel most days quite a bit or extreme stress. The caveman, Selye noted, didn't have to worry about the stock market or world war, but the caveman worried about being eaten by a bear when he was asleep, or of dying of hunger. It's not that people suffer more stress today, it's just that they think that they do.
Stress is the salt of life. You have to be under stress in order to make life worthwhile.